What is going on, beautiful folks? Lee Hammock, your favorite self-aware narcissist, is here with another episode of A Narcissist Explains. Today, we're going to be talking about how your mom could have been a narcissist. How one of the main statements that I hear when I'm talking to survivors and thrivers and victims of narcissistic abuse is the statement, my mom was a narcissist. We're going to check this video out. I recorded, and then we're going to react to it. My mom was a narcissist is one of the most common phrases that I hear when I'm talking to people as a diagnosed narcissist myself. I know a lot of stuff you see online is about men being narcissists and how men are the only people that can be narcissists and whatnot. But toxic moms absolutely 1,000,000% exist, y'all. A lot of toxic narcissistic moms will compete with their daughters and try to intentionally hold their daughters back from outdoing them in life, especially if they feel like their daughter is going to be more physically attractive than them or be more financially successful than them. Sometimes you get the narcissistic toxic mom that will have this weird pencestual relationship with their sons. Toxic moms turn into toxic mother-in-laws and are horrible to their daughter or their son-in-laws, y'all. You will never be good enough for a toxic mother-in-law. You will never be good enough for as a daughter or as a son for a toxic parent, y'all. Toxic moms will try to control the entirety of their children's lives, y'all. Yes, they will. Toxic moms. My mom was a narcissist is one of the main statements that I hear, y'all. I hear it a lot. I tell it to people all the time. Like, I hear this statement a lot. I know a lot of people get into their kind of niches and whatnot in the field of narcissistic abuse, and most of the stuff is about men, right? A lot of the stuff is about men, but a lot of times I'm coaching people. I'm talking to people from victims, but I'm also talking to people who've dealt with narcissistic women, and they're like, "Yeah, women can be narcissists too, Lee." I'm like, "Yeah, I never said they couldn't." But if you have a narcissistic mother, man, it can drive you crazy. It can do a lot of damage to you. It can absolutely ruin your life. It can. Because like I said in the video, toxic mother-in-laws, toxic moms will literally just drive, like, they will try to hold their daughters back. You know, a lot of them will try to hold their daughters back in any way, shape, or form. Not all of them will try to hold their daughters back, but there is a lot that will. You know, the ones that will try to hold their daughters back do it in all kinds of crazy ways. Like, they will beat their daughters. They will belittle their daughters. They'll just put into the mindset. They'll like put into their daughter's head like a lot of insecurities. They'll plant a lot of seeds of insecurity within their minds of their daughter and whatnot. And that sucks, y'all. It sucks having a parent that would do that to you. It sucks having a parent that would even think about doing something like that to you. It's absolutely atrocious growing up like that. But not only will they try to, hold you back, a lot of them will try to live vicariously through you. Vicariously, They will try to live vicariously through you, through their daughters, and through their sons, through their children overall. But especially through their daughters, like, especially if you look like them, or they just like, you remind me of your mom, and your mom has friends growing up and stuff like that. You remind me so much of your mom. You look just like your mom. That's not a when you're dealing with a narcissist, right? And you have a narcissistic mom. The compliment, you look just like your mom, is not really taken as a compliment by the mom, right? Because narcissistic women tend to, a lot of narcissistic women tend to be extremely superficial and just extremely care about their looks so much, right? They worry about how they look. They worry about how they present themselves. They worry about how they're going to be perceived by the world. So they just hyper focus on how they, their level of attractiveness. But as you get older, some people, as some people get older, they get better. But you get older, you start feeling less attractive. So if you have a beautiful daughter and people say you look like your mom when she was younger, it's not a compliment, because it just, it could seem like a compliment. Your mom might be like, the narcissistic mom might be like, "Oh, thanks," eye twitching, "Thanks. Oh, that doesn't make me feel old at all." I love it. I love it. You see what I'm saying? Eye twitching, that it bothers them and whatnot, and they take that out on the daughters. They take that out on the kids. They literally will try to live vicariously through them. Like, they will treat you like you are them. Like, imagine being a daughter of a narcissistic mom, and that mom treating you, that mom not really caring about herself internally. So if I don't care about myself internally, and I'm treating you like I think about myself, I'm treating you like a little version of me. Guess how I'm going to treat you? I'm going to be hard on you. I'm going to be unrealistic with you. I'm going to project all my insecurities and all my delusions of grandeur onto you. And that's going to make you grow up with a complex. A lot of times you see people that have narcissistic moms, not a lot of times, but you get a daughter that has borderline personality disorder, that might be super um, uh, codependent, or just just have a lot of BPD traits, borderline personality disorder traits and whatnot, you know. And it can happen that way. Narcissistic moms with their sons, like it can be go in a very similar way. It can be treated in a very similar fashion and whatnot. It might not be the exact same dynamic, might not be the exact same outcome, but it can go a very similar way. It can very well go a very similar way in these positions and whatnot. Like they can have these weird, like I said, weird, just weird type of dynamics with their sons, narcissistic moms. I said pancestral in the in my short video, but take away the P, and you get in space sexual. They can have a emotionally in space sexual relationship with their sons. So it's not just like a son, it's a son boyfriend, it's a son husband. Even if the narcissistic mom is married or has a boyfriend, they can still treat their son like their king. They'll say it, this is my king. Nobody, like, if you have a son, it's gonna sound weird. No, it's not gonna sound weird. Y'all might have experienced this. If you have a partner that has a narcissistic mom, like, you're not good enough for her son. You'll never be good enough, no matter what you do, no matter how much you try to appease her, no matter how nice you are, no matter how good you are to her son, you won't be good enough. She'll try to intentionally antagonize you or do little things to try to drive a wedge between you and her son. Because that's always going to be her baby. She doesn't want anybody else to have him and whatnot. And this happens. I'm just telling you, it happens all the time. I talk to so many people in so many different relationship dynamics that experience this. That experience this dynamic. They have this going on with them, and and it. And I've had people try to tell me, it's like, oh, I'm gonna try to get him to cut his mom off. Why would he do that? It's gonna be between me and his mom. Why would he cut his mom off? They feel like that, like sons of narcissistic moms feel like they owe their moms a debt. Daughters do too, but sons of narcissistic moms feel like they owe their mom a debt for being here, because that kind of like debt has been instilled within their minds. Like, you feel like you owe them this because it's instilled within their minds and whatnot. It happens so much in these spaces. And like, again, I know it's like tough to deal with and tough to even, reconcile having to deal with something like this, but this is part of the process, y'all. It is. Narcissistic mothers run amok. They run rampant out here in the world, and they ruin their children's lives, not only as children, but in teenagers, but also as adults as well. Even as elderly, if you have a narcissistic mom that's elderly, man, they can be the nastiest, most bitter people on the planet. Just mean, grandma mean. You see what I'm saying? You ever hear somebody saying that grandma mean as hell, and just don't like their grandma? They have a mean narcissistic grandma. Narcissistic moms don't just disappear. They turn into narcissistic grandmas, and narcissistic grandmas will literally try to love bomb the grandkids to make the kids jealous, the adult kids jealous. They'll treat the grandkids differently than they treated the adult kids, than they treated their own children, which could just cause this kind of weird complex. Will have you confused, like, this ain't the same mom that I had. Why is she being so nice? This is weird. You see what I'm saying? And if you question your mom about it, guess what happens? You're remembering it wrong. I treated you exactly like this. What are you talking about? You're crazy. They will gaslight the hell out of you about your childhood. Narcissistic moms will absolutely gaslight the hell out of you about what you experienced and what you went through in your childhood, and have won't feel bad about it. They just, if you try to get even in their elder years, if you try to get a narcissistic mom to admit their fault and try to hold them accountable, they'll take that to the grave, y'all. I hope you understand this. A lot of them will take it to the grave rather than say, I'm sorry, or I could have done better. They'll tell you that I did the best that I could. But a lot of people don't realize this right here. The best that you could was also abusive as hell. And they never want to admit that. They never want that to come from them. The best you could do is abuse me? Huh? The best you could do is neglect me? Huh? I'm just saying, you could try to hold them accountable if it makes you feel better, but I'm just saying they will rarely ever admit fault. They will rarely ever. They are hard. It's like a shell. It's a hard shell. your narcissistic mom or parent or whatever has a hard shell around them, and it's damn near impossible to crack that shell. They have to be willing to pretty much to open that shell up for you, to allow you in, and it's gonna suck, you know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you might not ever get the type of closure that you're looking for, or to hold them accountable, or to have this final conversation where they say I'm sorry or whatever. And you know what I mean? I hope this video brought y'all some clarity about the situation. I know having a toxic mom, a narcissistic mom, can be very difficult. As a narcissistic dad myself, you know, who's trying to work on himself, who's trying to be better. Not only for myself, but you know, so my kids don't grow up with complexes and things of that nature. You know what I mean? I'm working. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for tuning into tonight's episode or whatever. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I'm thankful for every single one of y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can find all my one-on-ones and everything here at mentalhealness.net. One-on-ones, support group, coaching, courses, everything is there. My events that are coming up right there at mentalhealness.net. Subscribe to the channel. I ask you to, and Mental Healness is up. Thank you so much for making it to the end of my video. I am extremely grateful for you. Have no idea. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Helps reach more people. And click on the screen to watch another video or to browse through another playlist. There's also a link on the screen to check out my courses and my support groups to help you heal and understand what you've been through. Thank you so much again. I will see you in the next video.